Hey guys, welcome back to the Blue Collar Future Podcast. I'm your host, Jaden Robison, with our host, Jessie Demler, again today. Dude, we missed last week.
Yeah, we were both on the same page. Well, the wrong page, but the same page.
And luckily, that's going to tie right into this episode. And it's great. But yeah, I mean, just busy times and going a couple days and getting to the end of the weekend when we can't really record anymore. And I was like, shit, we didn't record an episode.
Yep,
It's
and that's
just,
like I told you. I was like, we're both going 100 miles an hour, and I was like, I think it's podcast week. I was like, no, it can't be. Jaden hasn't texted me. It can't be. I must be thinking something else. And then
oh my
get to the end
gosh.
of the week, and it's like, oh yeah, we did forget about that.
Yeah. Well, dude, sometimes I get to like recording a podcast and I'm almost like, man, I don't want to do that right now.
Mm.
And then like put it off. But that's typically if I'm doing it on my own or like if I have a guest. Sometimes for some reason in the back of my mind, it'll just start working through like excuses about canceling or stopping, right? Doesn't happen when
Yeah.
we get on. It's a little easier when when it's us. But and that didn't happen the last weekend. It just totally slipped out my mind. It was like
Yep.
there on Thursday because I remember thinking, is it a Q and A or or is it a topic? Oh, it's a topic. Okay. And then just
Mm.
gone. So,
Yep. Yep. Same thing. I was
uh,
working and doing other thing else, and I was like I said, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's it. And I was like, no, my weeks must be all jumbled up. Whatever. Like if it was, I'll hear from Jaden. And then no, I should have just texted you.
yeah. So when I was in like my second year of podcasting, I think I was in a really busy time too. And I think this was when we were building our house. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I don't remember that exactly. I recorded an episode, got it all ready to go, made all of the stuff for it, and just went about my life. And I was doing one episode a week. So the next week I went on with it. And then like a month or two later, I remember like scrolling through my podcast directory stuff and I was missing
Uh-huh.
an episode. And I was like, what the heck? I know I did this. And I
Yeah.
went in there and looked, didn't post it. And I didn't even know for like 3 weeks, a month, something like that. And it was probably around this time too. It was probably around July or August when it happened. So technically, I ended up posting that later, that episode. Technically, we're off an episode because my count got off for like 3 or 4 episodes after. So technically, I skipped an episode somewhere, and we're actually one episode behind where we were supposed to be. But
Uh-huh.
oh well, that's
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody even noticed it. I probably didn't have that many listeners at that point, and yeah. Anyways, that just happens, and things slip through the cracks, dude. They slip through the cracks.
Especially when you're busy.
Yes. Yeah. It's like that just ties right into what we want to talk about today because we're both in a time that just going through it. Like just stuff all over the place, running everywhere and trying to enjoy ourselves. I mean, you've been fishing a bunch and then you lost your phone and stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then you got to go get a new phone. And it just seems like you can't ever catch a break. And I've been going through it too. Like it's just things that I feel like I should be able to get done. I can't or don't. And yeah, I mean, that's basically the premise of the episode today.
Feel that. It's like got 100 things, and then you come home and it's like, oh, I need to clean or do this, and it's like, oh, that's the hardest thing I've ever thought of doing. Like, you know, it's like I gotta not only wash my laundry but put it away. Like that just is an insurmountable task. But
Yeah, and it's like this time of year, it's easy to feel like everything is always behind and nothing's like working out.
hmm
And where we are, it gets hot. It's hot right now. Takes a lot out of you, especially. I mean, I'm lucky that I got hooked onto sun shirts, so
yeah,
revolutionary. It's like superpowers. But I remember years ago being like this time of year, getting up, super early and it's bright outside, going to work all day in the heat and coming home and just like collapsing on the couch and
hmm
basically being asleep all afternoon and evening just because it takes so much out of you. But it's like there's there's always all these things piling on top of you this time of year. It's a busy season. That's just
Hmm.
what it is.
Yeah, mine's drinking water. Like I get rough about that one because I'm like going and then just like, no, I haven't drank any water today. I wonder why I feel like this.
I think if everybody could take one thing from this, it probably would be to drink water. It is very
Hmm.
important. It's easy to get by without water for a while, and then the repercussions from not drinking water essentially take you like out the next days after.
100.
It's like you can't ever recover enough from not having enough water.
No, get freaking. I personally get like bad headaches if I less water and no
Yeah.
like sleep and water. I'm like a really bad house plant.
Yeah. Everybody's
I
grass
look like
is
that over there.
everybody's grass is
Yeah,
dying everywhere because it's not getting enough water because we're in a drought, and that's how most trades guys feel, just not getting
hmm,
watered enough.
yeah. Telling you, man,
My gosh.
If they made some better tasting water, if it tasted like and had if it was Coke Zero but water, I'm good.
Oh, dude, it would be crack. Everybody would be fine if it tasted like Coke.
Yeah.
Like like those people that show up to the gas stations with those big freaking 60-ounce containers and fill them up with soda, and you're
Uh
like,
huh.
how in the hell are you drinking that whole thing? Yeah, if everything just tasted like Coke, it'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. If there was like an addictive chemical in water, we'd be set.
We're back. This time of year, it's just, especially for tradesmen, I think, because like this is what we're dealing with. It's busy. It's really easy to behind on a lot of things. There's always a lot of priorities. I mean, just think about how many different areas of life you've got to stay on top of, and your work can take a lot out of you, and then you got to, show up for your family, and there's a mental load there, and your
Hmm.
finances don't take a break. There's not a balance ever.
Hmm.
It's not. I think people get into this, and a lot of people get really discouraged. One point I would make is it's not really supposed to feel easy ever. And
Hmm.
I think a lot of people could do with an understanding that life is just kind of, that's just how it goes. Like, normalize this idea that you can't always be perfect. And social media shows these people that are always like on top of all their shit all the time, 24/7, and it's just not true. That's not how it goes. It's really appealing to paint this picture of yourself that you're like always, I'm always at the gym and always doing my shit. But if somebody is claiming,
Everything like it's not reality.
yeah, so I mean, I think we could do to normalize the fact that it's not easy. And I think people nowadays are making a killing off of claiming an easiness to what they do, right? Like or they
Hmm.
they'll say, "Oh yeah, it's hard work, but you get to the point where I'm at, and look at this, look how easy this is." That's not how it goes, and they're not like that either. They're like trying to sell people on a pipe dream because it's appealing.
Hmm.
Applying that to everybody's lives individually, if it feels like it's hard and it sucks right now, you're probably in a good position. Sometimes I feel like if it's too easy, if something is feeling too easy, all I'm like thinking is, okay, what's going to happen? What's going to go wrong? What wrench is
Your
going to be thrown in this?
your fight or flight is like, I feel good right now. Something's wrong. Instead of like the other way
Yeah.
around, you're like chaos. You're like,
Hold
oh, this
up.
is good.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I do
so
feel
it's
like the
like,
internet's good at that for sure. The like I do this and like it's super easy, just to like sell some online information, a course or something, and it's not reality, but it's also like all of our social media is a highlight reel. So what do we expect?
yeah, and it gets a lot of people because everybody struggles. Everybody has hard times they got to go through. So that message of peace and plenty and ease of work and all that,
Mm.
it kind of it lands with people. They're like, man, I wish I had that, and everybody
Hmm.
does. But the fact of the matter is that it's not how it goes. And I mean, I think your followers probably would take quite a lesson from where you're at, because I bet there's a lot of people that look at you and are like, oh dude, he's got it made, oh man, he's you know, he's rolling in it,
Mm-hmm.
like all that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And you do a good job at being like, no, it's not all peaches and cream over here. We we have hard times too. And
Yeah.
this just sucks, and I'm not always on top of
I
things.
think, I mean, there's a point of that, right? Like, we're kind of tied in what you and I just said is like, we're really good at showing like what's great, like, oh my God, the job got done, or, this is the cool part of it, or like, this is whatever. But it's like, you don't show the day to day of like, we're behind here, here, and here, like, or this went on and like, that didn't happen. So it's like, outside looking in, it's probably like, oh, these two run these ridiculously incredible construction companies, and like nothing, like they're always just building these cool projects and making money off the content and all this other stuff. But in reality, it's like really like, it's like you said, it doesn't clock out. Like, that stress doesn't go away. Like, it's just there's 100 things on my plate and your plate, and it's like trying to like eat away at all those things on it, and trying to get through all of it. And like, I know first, whatever the joke is about, like, how do you eat a whole whatever, and it's like, well, the first bite, or whatever, like a bite at a time, or like you build a wall up one brick at a time, and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, you're getting through it. And I think that's where I'm kind of headed as far as content goes, after like that video I posted the other day about like how heavy everything is. And like, I don't want to like do certain things, because it's like, even though I'm accomplishing goals, where is it getting me? Or even in reality, it's getting me further ahead and things like that. I think I got sucked so deep into that hole of like, oh, if I make these videos, I make money. If I do this and this, so like, it takes care of that. That now it's like, it's almost like burnout of like, this gets me here, but like, now I don't want to do any of my other stuff. So and then I also don't want to do that because I'm obligated to do that. So it's like, I don't know. I've been trying to be, ever since I made that video the other day about like, kind of like the real reality of how I felt. I've just been like, I'm just gonna make a video, like, even if it's a simple video, like one video a day. Like, what if something pops into my head? I'm just gonna make, just to like, to get those at bats and that muscle memory of like, instead of getting through the month and like getting to day 22 of the month and be like, shoot, I have all my monthly obligations. I need to make like 8 ad videos, and now that's all anybody's gonna see is just 8 ads in a row. Versus like, I can make a video, even if it's a little video every day of just like, oh, like this was going on throughout my day. Like, I can make a video about that, or like a behind the scenes of like, this is what's going on. Like, this is why I'm in the office looking at this sort of stuff. Or like, oh, like I screwed up and like I counted 9 courses instead of 10. This is how it affects us for our concrete pour or a grout pour. Or like, we're setting this and this up. And like, maybe it's, I've put too much expectation on like what needs to be done. And that's not just in content, but in work and my life and everything else. So it's like, I don't think any of that's like, if I'm not doing all of that, it's not worth it. When in reality, it's like, even the little stuff matters, right? Like, those little videos I can make, like, they still land. The little things I can do at work that like still make everything move ahead, or like the little things I'm accomplishing here to like move us forward, or like change our living situation, or like whatever it is. Like, it all eventually adds up. Like, you're 1% better every day. It doesn't need to be 10, 20% jumps every day, even though like that's what my brain
Mhm.
thinks.
Exactly. You don't need home runs all the time. You just need
Yeah.
at bats. This kind of leads into like my next point, because I like what you were saying. Like, basically, don't overcomplicate these things. I mean, just take
Mm.
these little steps, right? And sometimes that's all you can do. If you're just getting constantly battered by problems, all you can say is, okay, well, what can I do right now to move forward? What's my next step? I think the trap
Mm.
that people fall into, and that I fall into, is most people's excuses are like, I need to get caught up on this and this and this project before I keep going. Or I need to get caught up on this. Let's just say I need to get caught up on a bunch of these jobs before I start working out again. Something simple like that.
Yeah.
Or I need to get
Yeah.
caught up with all of these things I have going on before I start posting videos on social media, or before I start caring about myself and what I'm doing. All that does is keep you stuck, because you never get
Mm.
ahead. You can never like fully caught up, because most of the time when people get caught up, and I'm speaking from personal experience, you get caught up and you get to a kind of calm time, it just goes
Mm-hmm.
freaking straight to the shit fan again. That's It's like Murphy's Law, something always happens. And if you're just assuming that you're going to have time, you probably won't have time. And all
Mm-hmm.
you can do is take that next step, take the little step to get caught up. And I like those little the ideas for videos. I might do something like that too, and not because I've noticed for myself on social media, like I end up worrying too much about the idea of the video instead of just kind of doing what's on my mind at that point in time
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
and that's
talking, make doing a simple video of me talking.
yeah. And I don't know if you follow them Roof Boys, but he reached out to me after my video, and he's like, "Hey, dude," he's like, "I know you've probably made these videos before and whatnot." He's like, "But you can always go back to the basics. You can always go back to like the simplest thing about your job." He goes, "This is how we do this. This is how we do this part. This is how we do this part. This is how we do this part." And then it all comes together again. And he goes, "You can." He goes, "You can always get back to that." He's like, "Because even if you've made that video, it was 1,000 videos ago." He's like, "You can make that, or just like I look at a lot of people like I'm like I feel like I complicate it so hard with like everything." And like I said, not just content, but it's like I feel like I have to be doing this big thing for it to be interesting, or like I have to be actually be creating and doing this thing for it to be interesting, or like to be worthy of feeling like I'm accomplishing something. When in reality, that's like there's people that just literally post like a montage of them working, and people love that. It's like it's not some accomplishment. It's not something. It's just like of them like pulling wire or doing the thing. Like it's super simple, and it's like I just feel like we complicate it so much. Of like I need to be doing all of this, and then it's like you look at that insurmountable task, and it's like I don't even know where to begin, and so you don't.
Mhm. And I mean, even taking a step back from there, that mindset then applies to everything else. So, what that translates in my life for is like projects around the house or little tasks around the
Mm-hmm.
house that are like, I just sit there and think, oh, I'm so busy. I can't even make videos because I have this to do, or I can't do this because I have that. And then
Mm-hmm.
nothing gets done. It's
Yeah.
magic. It's like all of a sudden, man, I'm so busy and then nothing happens. I think that happens more often than people like to think it does, and I know it happens with me. And the only thing I've found that's helpful is just picking something little and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you set out to clean your entire house, that doesn't ever work. But if you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go like pick up some things around the house and tidy up, and then oh, I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
wipe down some things, and all before you know it, you're cleaning everything, and then the house is clean. It's that type of mindset that I have to constantly remind myself of during this time because
Yeah.
a lot of times I get home from work and I don't want to go do a bunch of tasks. Like I'd like to just sit there and hang out at least for a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, and then it ends up being nothing. Nothing happens.
Yeah. I think like one of the things I guess is like the cleaning the house thing is like I break it. I have to. I'm like it's like an area of the house of like okay, I'm gonna clean this room, and then I'll move to that, and then I'll move. But if it's like the whole house, I'm like I never get anything done because it's like okay, well I gotta wipe all of this down, and then I'll move to like this where it's instead of like okay, if I just clean this area, then I feel like I accomplished something. So it's like cool, I will clean that area, and so on and so forth. And so it's just maybe that's the same with everything. It's like break it down into like bite-sized tasks of like oh, then I feel like I did that, and it's like cool. Then I have motivation like keep that momentum rolling. If like well I accomplished that, so now I can accomplish this.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes a real issue because I feel like it halts progress like crazy. One thing
Mm-hmm.
I've always prided myself on is working out regularly. And I've mentioned before on this podcast, I haven't really worked out worth a crap like the last year or two. Uh, and it's just been so busy all the time. Everything's always like when you have kids or when you have other responsibilities at home and you have multiple essentially jobs, like the both of us kind of have multiple jobs, really, with
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
social media and then our full-time job and then like doing this podcast is kind of just it's a hobby type thing. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just for fun and for another way to add value, but start piling all these things up and it's really easy for everything else to slip through the cracks. So what happens with me is I'll wake up early in the morning and I will like immediately get paralysis by analysis of everything I have to do. So I sit there and think, oh, I could really go make some videos. Oh man, maybe I should go work out. Really, like I need to think about what we're doing for work today. Or man, I need to start cleaning some stuff up. And all of a sudden, I haven't done anything. I've just been thinking about it for 20, 30 minutes. That time's like gone. I don't have any more time. Now I got to get going and go to work. And I could have been spending some time doing some other things or like doing something I enjoy, like reading. I
Hmm.
really like reading. I feel like I'm making good time to do stuff like that lately and then still being able to hang out with my family. But like making time to work out, making time to make videos and fulfill other obligations I have, like I've got to I need to make a video soon for a contract I've got going on. I haven't even thought about it like at all because I've had all these other things going on and the time just gets wasted. It's like it you can't overcomplicate and overanalyze everything that's going on to the point that you don't do anything because that's what I do. I don't know if you do that, but it's a
Yeah,
problem.
I think yeah, like it's a combination of that for me right now, and then like lumping it all of it together because maybe that's the complication of things is like um, it's all lumped together. So it's like I accomplish one task, and it's this uh, another concept I spoke of in that video was like I accomplish one task or one goal or like one thing, and it's like just the idea of false summits. It's like I get to the top of that, and I'm like, cool, I did that, and then instead of like looking back and or like looking and enjoying the view, I'm looking up and being like, why is the mountain so much bigger than I wanted it to be? Like what? Like why? Like I felt like I just climbed to the top of a mountain. Why is it so much bigger than this? And so it's rather than like enjoying the view of the accomplishment or the view of the task done, it's like I'm not giving myself that time or that ability to like enjoy that accomplishment of climbing that little summit, if you will, because I'm so worried about the big summit up there. And it's just coming to the realization of like verbalizing it. So it's something that like you need to allow yourself to do because otherwise it's just always going to be some insurmountable task. Like it's always going to be I want to be here, here, and here, and I'm not there, but that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy being here, or like I can't enjoy the fact that like my accomplishments or whatever has gotten me like closer to here. It's like just because like I want to be here doesn't mean that like none of this is enjoyable. And so it's just
Mhm.
trying to like convince myself of that right there. Like the fact that like just because I'm not here doesn't mean that I can't be in this. And
Mhm.
or like that I like have to be upset with myself or hard or like always in that like stress of like oh I just gotta keep doing this, I gotta keep doing this, I gotta keep doing this, that like I can't enjoy it. Like I told you just a minute, like a little while ago, it's like I made two videos that paid me. Like I've never received a check like that in my life, other than like for a side job that I've done. But like what I got paid to make two videos, and it's just like I saw that hit my bank account, and I was like, cool, and just like moved it to my savings, and then kept going on with what I was doing. But like a year ago, 5 years ago, it's like the concept of that like would have blown my mind. Of
Mhm.
like one day you're going to get a paycheck for this because you made two videos for so and so, and it's like no, that'll never like that's a ridiculous amount of money for that task. And it's but like because of the mindset and the thing that I'm trying to overcome right now of like giving my like trying to convince myself to give myself space to enjoy and like sit with those accomplishments. It's like I literally remember I looked at it and I was like, cool, that's a nice notification. And then like literally moved into my savings account and just kept doing what I was doing. I was like, there was no like time to like enjoy that accomplishment in my brain. And that's
Mhm.
so stupid. That's so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea of false summits because that's another thing that in this time will keep you stuck. I think, or keep you thinking that you're stuck. Because I think that's contributing to the problem where people are like always behind, they feel like they can't ever get anything done, everything's slipping through the cracks, but they're not looking at what they have been able to get done and taking that into account. And that I do that as well. Like all I ever really focus on is what I still have to do, or
Hmm.
the things that I'm not getting done rather than how much I'm accomplishing right now. And I feel like I'm coming around to that a little bit, like as I've been forcing myself to take more time to sit back and enjoy what we have, because I've been in a mode for way too long where it's just go, 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 produce, 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 learn things, try to apply them, try to make money, whatever. I've been in that way too long, and that's like all my mind ever is on. It's like, what can I do?
Yeah.
What can I do next? And then you would think, oh, well, you must do a bunch of stuff and get a bunch of stuff done. No, right now it's like that alone is making me get nothing done somehow.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel that. No. And that's, I'm not going to say that I'm getting any better at it because it's like, it's just, I'm talking through it right now. And it's like, it's something that, I had my little breakdown about, and now I'm like trying to like navigate it myself. And so that's why when you brought up this topic episode, I was like, cool, yeah, like this is great. Like to be able to verbalize and like see that, like, I'm not just going, like, you're kind of going through it as well. And then
Hmm.
who knows who's listening to this that's also in that feeling. Um,
Hmm.
it's just something to like work through and like try to get better at, and like recognizing that it is that's what it is. It's like I do need to get better at this. I need to be better about giving myself that space. I need to be better about putting the things together that we've talked about. Like me and you talked about it again. My brother-in-law Connor bringing up of like, here's my main goals, like wrote in the front of the notebook, and then it's like every day, you know, at the end of the day, rather than just like, okay, ran through my day, blah blah, shower, get in bed, wake up for the next thing. It's like to take the 5, 10, 15 minutes of like writing down of like, what did I do today to get closer to those 3, 4, 5 main goals? Like, or if there's like littler goals on the side of like what, like just to reflect on the day and be like, okay, what did I do to get to here? And if I didn't do anything, be honest with myself, like why I didn't do it. And then
Hmm.
that way, at least, at least if we're working towards and like getting closer to something, it's like a materialized version of that to like write it down, or like to like, okay, I actually wrote down, no, I am working toward this, this, and this, and like this is how I did it, rather than like getting 3, 4, 5 weeks down the road and being like, I'm nowhere near that still. Like, but you can look back at 3, 4, 5 weeks of journal entries to say, no, like I every day I've been doing this. Like some days I missed, like some days we just went and did this, or I was too tired, or whatever it may be. But I don't know, like that's the main thing I'm trying to work on right now is like
Hmm.
I feel like that would be like a really good thing to key in on, and I still need to be better about
Hmm.
it. But it's just, yeah, I'm not gonna get on here and be like, yeah, dude, I recognize that, and I'm working, like I'm so good at this already. I'm like I'm shit at it. Like I'm s- I am still very much struggling with the whole idea.
I got one word for you:
Mm.
intentionality.
Yeah, I gotta be intentional, dog.
Dude, it is like the reoccurring theme, I think, above all else that we keep talking about. And I've said something similar to what you just pointed out, where these last couple months I feel like I'm riding on the successes of 6 months ago, where I was like really dialed in, was doing all my journaling, I was really on top of like creating content, and I was a little bit more on top of like working out. I felt like at there's this point in time where I was just really dialed in on outside of work stuff. But you know what time that coincided with? Our not busy at work time.
Yeah,
So that was
like
a little bit easier.
winter, fall.
Like in the winter, yes, or like late winter type
Mm.
thing. And we weren't working quite as much, and it wasn't really taking as much of a toll on me. I think you like we get into this busy time, and then one thing slips through, another thing slips through. All of a sudden, all of the habits that have been built up, all of the successes that we've had before, kind of just like flown out the window, and then we're like, oh crap, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Like I freaking suck. I haven't done anything. Look at all
Mm.
this other shit I need to do. Look at everything that I still need to do. And it gets a little discouraging, but I think that is why journaling helps, because I can look back at what was going on at that time that I was doing really well and see all of that because I was journaling pretty good. Like I wrote in my
Mm.
journal this morning, but the last time I wrote in my journal was the 21st of June. And the time before that, I think was like 2 months before that.
Mm.
And like I can go look back and see, oh my gosh, like 2 months have gone by since I did that last. And I journaled pretty good for like a year straight. And I feel like it really helped a ton. But that's one of those things that slipped through the cracks. Like it just kind of flew out the window and went to the wayside with everything else that, went to the wayside.
Yeah. And I think like I guess part of it would be like retraining myself to like maybe it's the delayed gratification we've talked about or other things or maybe it's like deeper value because it's like I could show you like 5 really sick videos I saw today. Like I could send you some pretty good memes that I saw today. So that's like that quick dopamine hit right there of like those 5 things. It was like you got that, but
Yeah.
it's like I could have replaced that time with something like journaling or doing one of these tasks that moves us forward. And it's like, does that make me feel really like that, like really quick hit? No. But, in 3 months' time, if I did that for 3 months straight, like that dopamine hit's going to be far bigger than like any of those little ones could have been. And it's just
Hmm.
retraining my brain to like see that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I almost feel like I could make the connection between the amount of videos I send to people and the amount of stuff that I don't get done, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Because I feel like the times where I'm really dialed in, I am not on there looking at videos and sending them to people. And
Hmm.
I feel like the last 4 or 5 months, I've sent more videos like to random people that I thought were funny than like the last year or two combined, I swear. Like I'm always like I open my phone and see a funny video, I just like laughing my ass off, and then I see another one, and then I see another one. All of a sudden, it's 15 minutes gone by, and I'm like, what the, or 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and
Hmm.
there's been times where I don't send any at all, and not to say that's not a you know it's a bad thing or anything, but like I almost can draw a correlation between like wasting my time on my phone and being on top of everything that I need to be on top of. So I think understanding where your time is spent and realizing that you might be uh time might be getting wasted like thinking too much about what needs to happen rather than just doing it. I
Hmm.
fall into the trap every day, every single day. What
Hmm.
do I need to do? I need to do this, I need to do that. What should I do? Sit there, think, Mr. Thinking Man.
Yeah.
Hours gone by. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and maybe that's a part of like the extreme accountability is like it's our fault, like it's I'm doing this, and that when like that time could be spent doing this, and it's a little about like practicing what I preach and doing those things because like yes, I can say it all day, but like if I'm not doing it, then what's the point? Like there's no like I could tell everybody in the world to do certain things, but if I'm not doing them, why would anyone listen? Or like why should I even listen to myself? So it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I've been really, at different times in my life, really fixated on a lot of different things. And I can look back and see times that I've been really good about, say, working out or creating content or being on top of the podcast. But I think right now I'm not gonna say I'm looking for a balance, but it's more like I'm kind of wanting to be overall on top of everything, but not with like this intensity that I always have. Because I'm always like super intensely focused on like one area. And that usually has like a compounding effect where if I'm really fixated on creating content, for example, um, most of the time the podcast, like I put more effort into. And I'm putting more effort into making sure I have time to create content so it's not taken away from everything else I need to do. And I'm not doing last minute, like, getting to the end of the month and being like, oh crap, I need to make a video for, so and so.
Hmm.
But I'm right now, instead of like that intensity, I'm kind of wanting to diversify my attention to make sure I'm getting all of the stuff that I feel like I need to get done and enjoying myself and not getting burnt out. Because I think
Hmm.
the burnout thing is real and also not always to do with hating yourself. It's just thinking you're not accomplishing things, which is
Yeah.
what happens to me.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, and like that's why since we've been up there, I've been trying to fish and do other things because like I'm not gonna go sit in a hotel room. But
And scroll on your phone.
yeah, yeah, but I feel like I do that too. It's like I hyper focus in an area, and then and like it's like I can be really good at one thing, but rather than like handling everything
Hmm.
or things of that nature. Or yeah, it's just I don't know. Do you like? I can see the calendar behind you, so it's like, is it something that you like block out days of the week? Is it something that you block out like hours of the day? Like I assume you have some intentionality about that. I have like like, do you break them down that deep, or like is there an intention to do so? Or
This calendar is actually Maggie's calendar, and
mm-hmm.
it's for a project, a secret project that I can't say anything about. So I will not say anything about it. But I do. I have been right now trying to figure out like how I want to divide my time up because it's hard with the baby because I can't hardly I, I don't feel like I can work out when I need to be here hanging out with the baby. So that means workouts probably need to be in the morning. But
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time in the morning, but then I also feel like I need the mornings to create content. So that's been part of my battle. It's like in the mornings, what do I do? Do I need to do this? Do I need to create content? Do I need to work on my computer or do I need to go work out? And that's been the biggest struggle for me. So what I've been doing is since I don't even work out every day, and I never have. It's like, well, today, we'll do like Thursday is like a workout day, but then a weekend day, so I'm not as pressured to get it done before work. And then I do like
Mm-hmm.
other, the knees over toes exercises. I do those kind of in the evening because I can just do them inside in the house and kind of hang out while we're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I dedicate Tuesday mornings to the podcast, sometimes Monday
Mm-hmm.
evenings, but Tuesday mornings to the podcast so I can get the episode done and posted as they come out on Tuesdays. So I kind of divide like different times of my days to specific tasks, but I'm still figuring out how I want to do it. And I don't want to be doing it so strictly either because I want to be able to. I have been in a very like strict, like I said earlier, go, go, go mindset for so long. I kind of want to do things a little more lax right now. That's kind of how my
Mm-hmm.
mindset's going. So trying to figure that out. It's kind of what
Yeah.
I've been dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's good too. Of like life is still happening, so it's like you can't
Yeah.
necessarily take like all 24 hours and assign every hour to something like it doesn't happen. But maybe it's
Yeah.
I guess maybe that goes back to the journal aspect of like, well, I did this, like I didn't do this today because of this, like, but I'm doing this, and so on and so forth, and just being intentional with it.
Yeah. Used to get really upset when I couldn't get things done the days I wanted to do them. So, for example, like if I had to be thrown off schedule for work for some reason, like if we needed to show up to work super early or work super late one day, that would like super throw me off. I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
God, man, like I can't, you know, I had this planned or I had that planned, but like being able to kind of roll with that is what I've been dealing with and not getting so thrown off being off schedule. I like being on a sleep schedule. Can't
Mm-hmm.
really do that with a baby necessarily, but I like still try to. I'm working on not necessarily being so stingent with that either. I feel like that's one thing that helps me keep on track, but also it like throws me off and I get too fixated on it. Be like, oh, I need to get to bed
Mm-hmm.
at this time. I need to wake up at this time. So yeah, I don't know. It's not supposed to be easy. Everybody's going through it, you know.
Yeah.
For I think for people listening to realize that everybody's dealing with the same stuff you're dealing with. Nobody's got some perfect life figured out, and most of the time, people aren't telling you what their biggest struggles are. Especially
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times, people aren't showing up the way they should at home, and they're not going to tell you about that. The best is like all the influencers, like the big social media influencers that don't do anything but influence on social media. They
Mm-hmm.
always are having relationship problems, but they're always like trying to tell you all of the things to do with your life, and then they'll go get divorced or something,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah. There's a couple of those in Utah.
I'm trying
What
to
got you said?
reconnect. I'm trying to reconnect. It says, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah. Like we went to an event a few years ago, and we'll just say this person was talking about how great their life is and how they're like melding together, a mixed family from two divorcees, and they're gonna start doing like couples coaching and shit. They are getting divorced 6 months later. Okay. Nobody's telling you about their at-home problems as or their biggest problems, and they're gonna act
Mm-hmm.
like they've got everything figured out. And I feel like that's contributing to make this worse, to make everybody feel worse about how everybody feels like they're not getting shit done. Okay, but everybody feels like that, and I feel like if you aren't in that position, you probably need to get some things figured out for yourself. So if you're not
Yeah.
in some way thinking that.
And that's I can't decide if that's projection or if it's just like false sales. Like I feel like a lot like they'll put that because they want people to think that that's how they are, so that they can promote their image or whatever it may be. And maybe we all do a little bit of that because it's like I don't, even I don't show like our major mess ups at work or stuff, but like maybe I
Yeah,
should.
yeah. Yeah, just to let people know, I think the takeaway here is that everybody's got their problems and everybody's going through it and nobody's got it figured out. And all anybody can do is keep making that next step forward. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's,
yeah. Like
yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
great. And then maybe, like we discussed, maybe is our next time we can do like a part two of this of like
Hmm.
what we're implementing to take care of it because it's like
Hmm.
I don't know. I can vent about things for as long as possible, but it's like I don't want to be that person that just like vents about and never provides like any solution whatsoever. So it's
Yes.
maybe like so yeah, maybe like we talked about of doing a part two of this of like here's what I'm finding that's like working for me in the last 2 weeks. Here's what I or like other things I want to implement or like things that have been suggested to me or things like that or like what we can all collectively do
Hmm.
to move forward or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that next instead of a Q&A so that it's fresh on our mind still. Title is going to be
Yeah.
I don't trust motivation. Motivation doesn't work. Stay tuned. Well, I think that we got that pretty good. If you guys found anything that you got out of this, and a friend that needs to hear this, send it to them. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. We're doing this to help. I think that's one big key here is this is all to have awareness to problems in the trades and people are dealing with, and this is really applies to everybody, but especially in the trades. And I feel like there's not enough resources out there for it, so that's what we're doing. And
Yeah. I
Jesse is
like it.
kind enough to share his time with us too. Big dog
Yeah, same
Jesse.
with you, dude. Yeah, dude, and I think too, if like you're listening and like you have any of those ideas that like help, or if you're in this and you're working through things or whatever, like my DMs are always open to that.
Hmm.
I'm sure Jaden's the same way. So it's
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the easiest way to get through stuff like this is a collective and not trying to do the whole like bravado or like be a man or man up and
Hmm.
hide everything, but like I don't know, it's to know that you're not alone in all of it, to like even just to know like I've been struggling with a lot of that stuff, and like to hear it come out of your mouth is like, oh cool, like I'm not the only one having a hard time with
Yeah.
this. Like even you and like people I look up to, like you and other people, and like it's or like I've had this discussion with other friends or even my dad. Like my dad the other day was on site and he's like, I used to drive by job sites and be like, how do they have two forklifts and all this scaffold and they're doing all these big jobs and stuff? And he goes, and now we're there. And he's like, we have, all this stuff going on. He goes, and I'm just pulling my hair out because we're doing it. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like, you're just, it's a different, a different thing that you got to stress about. And so it's like
Yeah.
just to hear that other people that you may or may not look up to or that you're peers with are like also going through it is more important than I've given it credit for, I guess. So like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know if it's something that you're going through. Like the conversation, the door is definitely wide open on my end because I'm trying to get
Hmm.
through it, and
Yeah.
it's something that like I would like to not see other people struggle with as well.
Yeah. Struggling in silence is no fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%. But yeah, I
awesome.
appreciate you, dude, and talking through
Yeah.
it with me and other things too.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jesse. And thanks everybody for listening. And
yeah,
we'll see you guys next time with Don't Trust Motivation.
yes, sir.